which incredible creature in biblical tales were these lines written? Behold Behemoth, which I made as I made you. He eats grass like an ox. Behold, his strength is in his loins, and his power in the muscles of his belly. He makes his tail stiff like a cedar. The sinews of his thighs are knit together. His bones are tubes of bronze, his limbs like bars of iron. He is the first of the works of God. Let him who made him bring near his sword. For the mountains yield food for him, where all the wild beasts play. Under the lotus plant he lies, in the cover of the reeds and in the marsh. For his shade the lotus tree covers him, the willows of the brook surround him. Behold, if the river is turbulent, he is not frightened. He is confident, though Jordan rushes against his mouth. Can one take him with hooks, or pierce his nose with a snare? This could be nobody but me. This portrayal confirms to my strength and splendor. I am Behemoth. My creation is as incredible for the Hindus. When the elemental ocean of milk was churned, I appeared as the celestial white elephant, Airavata, who is the predecessor of all other elephants. I was selected as a mount by Indra, the sky god, and it is still said that white elephants have the magical power of getting clouds. Earlier, all my children could fly freely, but a holy hermit cursed them for upsetting his teachings. Now they dwell on land, serving the desires of the humans. As a mount for the gods, I am now the bearer of the mortal embodiments of the celestials, the Maharajas and the kings. All through history, my knowledge and power has been used by humans for their own needs. Armies through time have utilized my services in triumphing over their enemies. Soldiers would bless me before leaving for the battlefield in order to guarantee success in war. Images carved at holy places display the valor of my children, who were used as vital weapons during wars. The world is viewed by the Buddhists in a more peaceful and serene manner. Legend has it that Buddha was born after his mother had a dream where she saw him coming down from heaven and entering her womb in the form of a white elephant. Ever since, Buddhists hold my children in high regard. They guard the sacred pagodas built as a sign of spiritual realization of Buddha. When young Buddhists renounce worldly pleasures and accept the saffron robes of devotion, they are carried on the backs of my children on this very significant voyage. take these beginners to their monastery, bringing elegance and good luck to the procession. But before entering the cloister, the procession encircles it 3 times, a number of divine importance. After his death, Buddha's remains were spread across the lands where he preached, and it was only I who was considered meritorious enough to perform this sacred mission. In Sri Lanka today, the annual Candi Perahera relives this episode in the form of a performance, as a chest carrying the holy tooth of Buddha is marched through the streets. Conquering every obstacle and making my way through the thickest jungle, I am worshipped as the elephant-headed god, Ganesh, in the Hindu religion. There are numerous legends relating to my birth. One of them is as follows. Lord Shiva's wife, Parvati, created a son from her body's dirt and ordered him to keep vigil as she bathed. When Shiva, the destroyer, came back and found a stranger blocking his way, he was angry and beheaded the boy by turning his third eye on him. Parvati was so distressed that Shiva ordered his men to find a head to replace the severed one. They found an elephant, and that is how Ganesh came into being. Today, the idols of this very famous god drink from the holy Ganges as pilgrims take a holy dip for the atonement of their sins. As a god that removes all impediments, people offer prayers to Ganesh every day and seek his blessings before starting anything anew. I have become the champion of knowledge and the harbinger of good luck. As for Shiva, well, when people congregate to venerate him, it is hardly a surprise that my children are the sentinels chosen to bear his image and stand guard in front of his temple. I am the gift of God, Atta Allah, for the Bedouins of Arabia. I carried the Magi, the 3 wise men, on my back, following a star to the baby Jesus. I'm a mark of good fortune in the desert, and if I gave birth to 10 children, I will become holy. From the Sahara to Asia, I live in the most unfavorable conditions. The hump on my back is a storage of fat, helping me sustain without water for up to 2 weeks. Eating whatever little vegetation is available, I can survive days without meals. With such forbearance towards adversity, I am the warrior mount of the sands, enabling armies to invade impassable cities. Spanning from Jordan to India, my position of honor in the desert armies remains strong throughout the world. Devoted Muslims regard me with great favor. As a youth, Prophet Muhammad dwelled in the holy city of Mecca and was well known for his skills as a herder. When compelled to run away from the city years later, it was his beloved camel, Al-Qaswa, who carried him away. When they were out of danger, Al-Qaswa knelt down. Muhammad considered this as a sign from God and stayed at that place for 4 days. Today, the mosque at Aqaba is situated at the very place where Al-Qaswa knelt. Al-Adha, the fastest of all Muhammad's camels, is fabled to have carried the Prophet from Jerusalem to Mecca in just 4 steps. Maybe, as a tribute to that feat, my daughters race over the sands in Dubai. My image carved on a cup is their reward. The race is so reputed that the swiftest of my children are treated with royal accord. I am coddled by the attendants in pools with the most priceless of desert's things, water. Wherever I have traveled on this earth, my life has become interlinked with the people who live there. Up in the Andes of South America, I have taken the shape of llama. Whenever there is a marriage in the town, my children are invited as privileged guests of the native Quechua Indians. There is high enthusiasm, and refusals are not kindly taken to as they celebrate the upcoming wedding. For centuries, a renowned fair is held in a dusty Indian desert town in my honor. This is Pushkar. Devotees have come to offer prayers at the nearby holy lake. Most of the people have walked weeks to reach here, but their main aim is to buy and sell camels. Every child of mine is showed at their finest. With coats cut and trimmed, they display the latest bridal wear. My bones are buried by some superstitious people under their homes to ward off ghosts. I provide much more to those without homes. Milk, wool, and meat are what I offer. But most importantly, I am their carrier, the ship that takes my masters across the oceans of desert. Bactrian camels, one amongst my own children opened up the Silk Road and helped in bringing the wonders of the East to Europe. And in lands where the scorching sun makes salt integral for life, it is I who makes living feasible. Under vacant skies, caravans are formed by my children to trade the salt paths of the Sahara. Their associates in this old union are Tuareg tribesmen. Journeying from one corner of the desert to another, backs are weighed down with food and a prized cargo of salt, but seldom the last straw. Water conveyed is not to quench the thirst of the camel, but of the men. My children could only drink when they reach a well. It's only then the Tuareg pay back the debt owed to the camels. I am a part of each facet of Tuareg life, but most during a courtship. In this infertile land, the choice of a partner rests with the Tuareg women. So if a warrior is to charm a wife, then he and I must be clad in our very best.